Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Greenville where a recount has been completed for a city council seat. Now, ECU student Seth Hardy officially defeated veteran District 3 council member Marion Blackburn by 25 votes, 1,253 to 1,228, while Tim Langley finished in third with 281 votes. Now, Blackburn wasn't at today's recount. Hardy will be sworn in early next month. Congratulations to Seth Hardy. Now, sticking in the Greenville area, ECU has now announced that they have approved, at least the Board of Trustees has approved, a tuition rate increase for incoming students next year, along with a new house for the chancellor. Now, this morning, the full board unanimously approved a 3% tuition increase for incoming students, which got initial approval from the Budget, Finance, and Infrastructure Committee yesterday. The proposal raises in-state tuition to $4,585 per semester, while non-resident tuition would climb to $21,351 per semester. Medical school students would see a 3.26% increase, going to $22,977 for in-state students and $52,300 for out-of-state students per semester. The increase will now head to the UNC Board of Governors for approval. The proposal comes after the UNC system gave schools the option to raise tuition for the first time in 9 years. Trustees also voted unanimously to build a new home for the chancellor directly behind the historic Dale House on 5th Street. The home will front on Jarvis Street. This comes after the trustees said in August of 2024 that it was looking for a new home for its chancellor. The foundation bought an 8,500 square foot mansion 7 years ago in the Star Hill Farms neighborhood for the chancellor to reside in. However, some criticized the size of the mansion and its location, which is more than 2 miles away from the university. In August of 2024, the university announced its plans to sell the home, saying that the smaller home would align with the university's needs and culture. ECU leased a home in Winterville as a temporary residence for Chancellor Philip Rogers and his family. Last month, county records show the foundation sold the mansion for $1.6 million. The foundation says it will fully fund the construction of the home using the proceeds from the sale of the Star Hill Farms mansion. Now, the Dale House will be used as a venue for events sponsored by the chancellor. And now for a look at your weather forecast. Air temperatures today have been pretty much right around our seasonal average. We are looking at a little more heat coming in by tomorrow. And a big reason why, shifting winds. We saw shifting winds create the temperature drop earlier this week, where we went from near 80 degrees this past Sunday down into the 40s as we reached Tuesday. Those were your high temperatures. Right now, out your door, we have certainly come a long way since Tuesday. We've got air temperatures right now generally in the low to mid 60s. There are still a few areas hanging out in the upper 50s. We've got 57 degrees in Manteo, 58 in Hatteras, 59 in Plymouth, 56 actually also in Oriental as well, along the coast of Pamlico County. But the rest of eastern North Carolina generally between around 60 to 66 degrees. That's pretty much normal for this time of year, and it's very close to where we were yesterday. It's tomorrow, though, where we're really going to start to feel the change in the forecast. For the rest of this afternoon, again, we'll hang out in the low 60s until we get to around 5, 6 o'clock, and that's when we're going to be dipping back down into the mid to upper 50s. Eventually, we'll hit the upper 40s. That should happen as we head towards 7, 8, and 9 p.m. If you're heading to any of the high school football games tonight, you're going to want to make sure you have some long pants and maybe a sweatshirt or a jacket to endure the second half chill that will be present throughout most eastern North Carolina games. The clear skies will certainly be nice, but we will see a little bit of cloud cover coming in for tomorrow evening. But tomorrow for the game at Dowdy-Ficklin, Pirates taking on Memphis. Looks like we should have some fairly nice weather for it. 4 p.m. kickoff comes with a 73-degree air temperature and a southwesterly wind generally between around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Tailgating conditions are going to be spectacular as well. Winds may be breezy at times over the weekend, but I think the strongest winds will hold off until we get really into your Sunday. Saturday, we're looking around a 10 to 15 mile per hour sustained breeze. We're going to see those numbers climb once we get again into the tail end of the week as a cold front front is expected to roll across the east late Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. It'll be a dry front, but strong enough again to create a pretty hefty temperature drop. We're going to see air temps drop by about 12 to 15 degrees from Sunday into Monday, just in terms of your high temperatures. Now, we will stay dry thanks to high pressure continuing to kind of cruise along the Gulf Coast. See that cold front getting close to eastern North Carolina. Yeah, we will see some of that cold air try to dip its way into the east as we start next week, but it's really not going to give us much in terms of rainfall. So 75 degrees Sunday turns to 61 on Monday, 14-degree drop there, and then we're back into the low 60s for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as well. See a little bit more warmth showing up by the time we reach Friday and Saturday of next week. Rain chances minimal but present. We could certainly use a little bit more of the rain as we make our way through next week. We are certainly in need of the drops. The problem is when you're in November, the air is very dry and it's a little bit difficult to get rain squeezed out of that dry air. Well, that's all we have time for today's 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Friday.